Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Leadership Satsang. I'm your leadership coach, Yukti Kapoor Mehdirata. Thank you so much for joining me in for this discussion today on a very, very important topic. You see, as leaders, we are kind of used to being surrounded by people, isn't it? Whether these people are your team members, your advisors, or your admirers, your critiques. There are just a lot of people surrounding us at all times, and yet it's not only a popular statement that floats around, but also the truth that it's lonely at the top. Any leader would tell you that as they rose to their next level, they experienced loneliness. Loneliness is becoming a pandemic in the entire world. Any corner of the world you go to, any part of this world, you will find a deep sense of loneliness, even in people who don't really live alone, right? They could have a lot of people at home, a lot more people at work, and yet there is that sense of loneliness. To be honest, I thought of talking about this today because on 7th of this month, my calendar showed it was Grandparents' Day. And I immediately connected the two things together because, as grandparents, you enjoy the love of your children, you enjoy the respect you get from the society, from the family, but you often just, sit by yourself in silence with that sense of loneliness sometimes that you're not even able to share it with people. Not that they intend to keep you isolated, but just the fact that this relationship has certain limitations that come with it. And beyond those limitations is loneliness. The same limitations that starts getting created even in the space of leadership. So you see, if you look at it carefully, you will see that there is a similar paradox in leadership as well. You could be in the middle of the crowd, you could be with lots of people, yet you could feel invisible, unheard, sometimes even misunderstood. So let's explore this, the silent truth of leadership, loneliness, and the missing piece that we rarely talk about. But this discussion will wait till we bring ourselves into this moment completely. So let's do what we always do. I would want you to sit comfortably wherever you are. Make sure your spine is straight. Let's relax a little bit. Let's just completely bring ourselves to this very, very important discussion. Are we ready? Please close your eyes. You can keep your glasses aside. Take a nice deep breath in and breathe out. Take another deep breath in, please. And breathe out. And see if you can bring your attention to the center of your forehead. Just so the thoughts don't take over for some time. Just so you can experience how you're taking in the breath and leaving it out with every exhalation. See if you can be with the experience of your breath. The coolness of every inhale and the warmth of every exhale. Quickly scan your body and see if there is any stiffness anywhere. Please let it go. Relax your forehead. Relax your facial muscles. And every part of your body. Take another beautiful breath in. And let's prepare to chant Om 5 times. Breathe in.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Whenever you're ready, just rub your palms together. Thank you, facing them on your eyes, your face, your neck, and your entire body. And slowly come back. And as you do, please let me know which part of the world are you connecting from today. Give it to me in the comments, please. I would love to welcome you all to this discussion today on something so important and relevant, something that very few people talk about, and something which still remains as a missing link when it comes to loneliness. How many of you have experienced loneliness sometime or the other in your life? Just give me loneliness in the comments, please. If you have ever experienced loneliness, I'm sure you know it's not the same as being alone. That's not what we're talking about here. In fact, it's good to have some moments when you're by yourself, what we call as a me time, right? When you can connect with the real you, when you can reflect upon what really matters. Being lonely is very different altogether. Being lonely is that moment when you feel invisible, insignificant, when you feel lost, misunderstood, when you feel that, maybe I don't matter, maybe people don't care, and then many other feelings and thoughts that follow this emotion, right? So I'm talking about that moment. Have you experienced that in your life? Just give me loneliness in the comments if you have. And as you do that, I want to touch upon the paradox I was talking about a while back. You see, when you grow in your leadership journey, in your career, what do you gain in the process? You gain a lot of power, right? With position comes power. And with power comes respect. There is no denying that. You do earn a lot of respect as a vice president of a company or a director of a company or a chairman of a company or whatever position you hold. There is some power that comes with it. There is some respect that follows. But what also follows is distance. When people start creating a little distance from you. In fact, if you've heard Narayan Murthy's videos, his interviews, he often talks about how his friendship started shifting in the team as the company grew, and how consciously he had to create that distance with a few people so that he can take some tough calls, he can make some tough decisions, right? Because of that distance, however, people don't come up to you with honest feedback. What starts becoming less and less and lesser and lesser is honest feedback. One of the most important things required to enhance awareness, to improve, to make progress, isn't it? I always call feedback a gold mine because it is. It is something that helps you deal with what we all carry within us, and that's a blind spot. That part of me that I cannot see about myself, but someone else can. And they bring that to my attention. And I might not immediately pounce at it or jump into an action mode, but it does give me an opportunity to see a side of me that is still not that evident, that visible to me. How else can anybody make progress? And that's what is the biggest disadvantage.
as you grow, you get lesser and lesser feedback because there is a lot at stake for people, to be honest with you, isn't it? So, what is the solution? How do we grow and at the same time not feel as lonely? Is when we learn to make and create conscious openness in our professional relationships as well as personal relationships. When people don't fear speaking up, when people know that their views will be respected and heard, even if they're not immediately acted upon. In fact, I always say that feedback, to understand feedback, you should create a metaphor of a buffet in your mind. It's like it's a spread on the table for you. Doesn't mean that you have to eat everything presented. You just have a lot of options to look at. Right? So when feedback is presented to you, you have a lot of things to look at about yourself. Some you might immediately agree with, some you might still be in a denial of, some might just absolutely be relevant. That's also true. But not having that passage of communication, not having that opportunity to even receive it, that's a huge loss. That's a huge loss for a leader. And it's not as if you want it. You don't. A lot of people around, people I coach who are usually in CXO positions or business owners themselves, they say with their heart on their hand on their heart that, Yukti, honestly, I invite people to give me feedback. I'm very sincere about that request I make to people. And I am hoping that what I receive in return is the truth. But I know it isn't. It's so sugar-coated, it's so rehearsed, it's so thought through that the essence of it is lost in the whole process. How many of you feel that? How many of you feel that you still have somebody in your life who can tell you some uncomfortable things about you? What is the name of that person? Who comes to your mind? You may want to give me a name because anyways, I don't know them, but you could also indicate the relationship you share with them. Right? It's a very important reflection I want you to indulge in this moment right now, right here. Think about that one person who can give you uncomfortable truth. Who is that person in your life? Let's have some sharing in the comments, please. It'll be very, very important to think about it. That with all the success behind you, all the achievement, that you've enjoyed in your life, who is this one person who still has the courage to speak the truth? Who will tell you what you need to look at? Even if you don't like it, even if you don't want to hear, they will tell you because they are your true well-wishers. Who is that person? Let's have some names in the chat, please. And as you reflect upon it, let's also see if there is any cost attached to loneliness. Is there a cost attached to it? It's a very common research floating around and is still true. This was released by Harvard some time back, and they said that the impact of loneliness is the same as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The damage that is done is not only on your health when it comes to leadership. The damage is at multiple levels. There is damage done in terms of your ability to make decisions, your ability to make judgments, your clarity, your courage. All of that starts getting impacted if you are experiencing loneliness in this journey as a leader. When you become or experience that emotion of loneliness for a prolonged period of time, it can also deteriorate the quality of decisions you make. And obviously, decision making here is not limited to any one aspect of your life because we're making decisions all the time, isn't it? From big decisions to small, tiny little decisions. There are so many decisions we're making. And the quality of these decisions will impact the result that we desire of it. So if the decision quality is poor, you can imagine what results you're looking at. Indra Nooyi, another leader I really look up to, a former CEO of PepsiCo, as you know, she's talked about loneliness so many times. She's talked about her struggles with managing maintaining that balance between the cultural nuances, around being a woman leader, the family duties that comes along with the roles that you play in your personal life, and of course, the responsibilities organizations would put on you. as a senior leader. All of that needs to be taken along. There has to be a sense of balance. And in all of this struggle of maintaining the balance, there are many moments when she said she felt completely lonely. Like there is no one who's got her back. Like nobody gets it. Nobody understands what she's going through. And when she shares this, as much as she shares it with the intent to also highlight the struggles women face per se, but I think we can very comfortably extend it to all genders. We can easily extend it to the entire space of leadership, especially if you have the ambition to grow exponentially. What follows at the same pace is this deep sense of being lonely. And the impact is not just restricted on you as an individual if you don't do something about it, or worst case scenario, if you're not even aware of it, if you don't know how to name it, how to accept it, leave alone do something about it. What it does is a serious damage even at an organizational level, because leaders' morale and energy affects the energy of the entire organization. The higher up you go at this in this corporate pyramid, more is the impact of your own energy levels to everyone in this pyramid, everyone below you. That's the sense of responsibility you need to carry to maintain and ensure your own well-being. Because now your well-being is not just a good to do, it's a must to do, not only for you, but for so many other people who look up to you, who you lead, the organizations who expect your leadership to give them the results that they want. So what is it that we do? What should we do? What is the missing piece here that nobody is talking about? People do talk about loneliness, and thank God for that. But then what's the missing piece here? It's not the number of followers you have. It's not the number of admirers or the applause you get for your work, for your achievements, for your trophies, awards, and success stories. It's about finding authentic companionship. Can you give me authentic companionship in the comments, please? And let's not make a shortcut out of this today, because I want you to go back with this term. I want you to think about what this means to you. What does authentic companionship mean to you when I say this? Ratan Tata was probably the most admired leader, definitely right at the top of my list of leaders who've been, my role models personally. How many of you have been inspired by Ratan Tata? Give me Ratan Tata in the chat, please. Huge, huge, huge respect I had for him, and I'm not the only one who's a huge fan of Ratan Tata. There are so many millions of people around this world who looked up to him for his leadership qualities. And even he has come to the forefront with all honesty when he said that after retirement, he felt bouts of loneliness. Like all that emptiness and hollowness that took over his calendar slots was filled by the love and affection he built with his dogs, right? So you see, it's not just restricted to people who are dealing with financial challenges or physical disabilities. And so there's a sense of incompletion. And so they feel that people don't understand them, and hence the loneliness. It, in fact, is felt a lot more with people who seem to have it all, who seem to be living in a very ideal world. But you go a little closer, and that hollowness starts looking visible to you. It becomes visible through their behavior, through inconsistency in that behavior. So if we want to make a better world, it always starts with becoming a better person yourself. Right? As Gandhiji said, be the change you want to see in the world. So let's bring in more awareness about feeling lonely. Let's not live in denial that I have no good reason to be lonely. There is no reason, probably. Because like I said, you're not alone. You're not secluded. You're in the middle of it all. And yet, if there is this deep sense of hollowness, please accept it. Accept it and then work on it. By doing what? By bringing in authentic companionship. So who is this authentic companion? This is the person who will be able to see the person behind the position. This individual is able to see the real you behind the title you hold. The real you when you're not in your successful corporate or business avatar. The person behind the position. How many such people do you have in your life? Are you able to think of at least three? Three people who know you for who you are behind your position. And if you can think of these three people from your professional space, then like a double star to you there. Because we kind of have these expectations from our family members. And honestly, they don't give too much, heat to your position at home. There is this some sense of, if I may say, equanimity there at home, that we're all, family members. So that load of position is felt more with people who we work with, right? So outside of this unit, this family, how many people can you think of who know you as who you are? Your imperfections, your fears, your vulnerabilities. How many such people can you name? Can you come up with three people? Give it to me in the comments if you're able to think of three people who really know you for who you are, who can feel you, see you, hear you. How many such people do you have in your life? Because these are your authentic companions. And these relationships need to be nurtured. Even if they don't follow the bandwagon and they don't applaud the loudest, it's not as if they're not happy with your happiness or success. It's just that the role they have assumed in your life is that of keeping you grounded. And trust me, that is the most important role any loved one or well-wisher can play for you. So if you have these people in your life, give them a big shout out today. Give them a big thank you. If you could, I would invite you to put that in the chat. Say thank you and then the name of that person who you're thanking as an authentic companion. Somebody who sees you as you. And the endeavor is to find such people in the teams you lead, in your directs. Find such people in a level above your level in the organization, in that corporate pyramid. Find these people in your internal stakeholders, in the list of your external stakeholders. Can you create that openness so that people can truly be honest with you? Can you create that safety, that sense of safety around you, so people can show up authentically and be your true companion? So as I conclude the satsang today, I want to share a statement that just came to my mind, and I want you to take this back with you, that leadership is not about walking alone. It's about finding those who walk with you when the crowd disappears. How many such people do you have in your life who will continue to walk with you when the success stories are left behind, when the titles have to be dropped, when you need to hang your shoes up? How many people would still be by your side? That is a real success. That is a true testimony of authentic leadership, when you're able to create authentic companions along in this journey. I hope you found this useful. I hope if there is any sense of loneliness that you've been experiencing and feeling, somewhere this message today, this satsang today, is helping you to deal with it, is opening your mind to how you can come out of that state. Because as much as it's important to acknowledge that experience, it's equally important to step out of it. And sometimes we can do a few things more proactively to be able to deal with loneliness, so that it doesn't necessarily follow your success as you hop from one level to the next. And I do hope that happens for you. No matter what you've chosen to do in your life, I hope you grow exponentially. And I hope you grow along with people, along with the deep sense of being loved and respected. and not by keeping people at a distance and allowing loneliness to come too close. Thank you so much. That's all the time we have. If you have any questions, we're nearing that part of the month when I will pick up your questions and be happy to take them on live with you in the session. So please put those questions in the comments if you can, or write to me at yukti@sbyacademy.com. I always look forward to the challenges that I can help you with. Thank you so much once again for joining me today. I wish you all the very best for everything that you choose and desire to do in your life. God bless you. I will see you next week with another important insight in the space of leadership and spirituality. Thank you. I'll see you soon.